them stoked.
And I'll just quickly, Kelly, sorry, but
Sure.
calling it out again, definitely that was part of the inspiration way back in the day was make these instant. And, and you nailed it, Nathan, like incentive programs have been going on forever. And I remember having a conversation with another one of our earlier brands, and they were talking about how, the timeline, the lapse between the event happening in store when an employee learned or when they sold something and then actually getting the reward was months. And, during that time, like they just were sitting there waiting, being like, oh, I hope I get it. And it was a big goal for us to provide these instant incentives and make it just happen that fast. And we definitely hear it from employees every day, how much they appreciate it. And with those various types of rewards as well, of course, at the high level, just giving brands that flexibility to A/B test, like a digital marketer would, and see what works and be able to, target different programs with different stores or different regions, to really see what has the greatest impact and be able to kind of double down on what's really checking, and of course be able to, pull back what maybe isn't as successful as they would have hoped.
Yeah, and I think another area where we saw an improvement is, you kind of touched on it, but the timeline of when it happened in other incentives as we ran in the past with manual processes or larger prizes, you would see a slow ramp up. There would be more of a ramp up towards the end of your incentive timeline, where now it really feels like the engagement starts as soon as we launch it. And I think that comes from perhaps how we framed it up, but also it comes from how the app itself works, how the sales associate now interact with instant rewards, and having that be so accessible and the information be clear in terms of how it's explained to them, how to engage with it, and how they can be rewarded for their efforts.
Yeah, and I do think that our users, having used the platform now for a length of time, are kind of getting used to just checking out Endeavor to see what's up with the brands that they carry and they sell. Burton, retail staff key insights. So Endeavor recently sent a survey out, and this one was specifically to sales associates that completed the digital education for Burton on Endeavor. And so 54% of sales associates reported that the learning campaigns helped them increase their sales of Burton products. 75% of sales associates confirmed that Burton's learning campaigns assisted in keeping the brand top of mind. And 60% of the store managers indicated that staff feel significantly better equipped to sell Burton's products due to the learning campaigns. We also did a little bit of reporting on the side and some analysis on the correlation between digital education and increased sales. And we found that 95% of the targeted stores that participated in the digital learning also completed sales incentives. And so we're also selling Burton, which to me paints a really strong case for the importance of offering digital learning prior to or in parallel with sales incentives. And I think, we've already talked a lot about and illustrated just how well your content has been performing on Endeavor. But would you agree that there's a strong correlation between digital education and an increase in sales?
At the very least, yeah, definitely. And then with the engagement increasing on both sides of those, especially if we think about the point that I made earlier about just these guys, sales associates are already so thinly stretched. And so then to consider if we're going to make them go in multiple places for a sales incentive and for learning, it seems kind of bogus. That doesn't really sound like a good way to win them over. So having those things together makes each one of them stronger than they would have been otherwise.
Awesome.
Yeah, such a great call out. And I love it. Kind of just, kind of going back to what I was saying at the start of this too, associates want to learn, they want that education, and you really do see the impact of it here too. It is, and we're hearing it both from the associates themselves in these stats and leadership at the retail level as well about the impact it's having. Across the board, we're hearing that it's helping them sell more, and in some cases significantly more, after having completed the education. So that's great. And obviously, Ben, couldn't agree more on that stat. That was our number one objective, is to bring everything into one nice, convenient place now for the associates to come in and get the education they need to excel at their job, get that extra motivation and rewards that they need to, to work harder every day.